What's up everybody, Mad Gamer here with a new video, and today we're not really going to do any gaming. We are just going to talk about what's going on with the gaming industry and the nonsense that's being put into games, and unfortunately the things that are going on that I just don't understand. First of all, I am a believer in God, so I don't like playing games that have any kind of promotion of DEI or pride. And for a long time, I'm not going to mention who runs this server that I was playing on. I was playing on a roleplay server, having fun, because it was supposed to be based on the time of the 1700s, during the time of the Navy and pirates. And today, of all things, when I was watching a fellow crew member's stream, not going to mention his name, I ended up seeing a pride flag. And unfortunately, I just don't get it. I mean, if you're trying to stick to the role-playing of the 1700s, that kind of thing did not exist back then. And I used to be a big fan of BioWare's Dragon Age games. I even had the very first Dragon Age game there was, the Dragon Age Origins. Then I had the Dragon Age 2, and then the last one, Dragon Age Inquisition. And I was such a fan of this game, I actually knew who played the voice of the Swamp Witch, Flemeth, in the Dragon Age Origins game, which was the woman who played Captain Janeway in Star Trek Voyager. And she did a great job of voice acting in that game. Like, her voice acting and role-playing was great. Then, I waited for a while, and hopefully, they would continue the story where it left off, right? Wrong. They ended up rebooting the whole freaking story and turning it into ideology of wokeness and pride and all this stuff, which I'm tired of hearing about, especially in video games. But every game is going this way. Whenever I take my children to the doctor, I can't go into any neighborhood. Me and my wife can't go into any neighborhood without having to see a pride flag. So I was thinking, at least in the gaming world, I can escape that and just have fun playing a game, defending the lands in the game, fighting the enemy, taking out the boss, and all that stuff. But nope, that has to be put in the games now today as well. Can't just stick to some clean, wholesome entertainment, Gotta put that ideology, that agenda out there, right? So, I don't get it. What is the point of putting this ideology when it's causing the stocks of the gaming companies to crash? Because nobody wants to play it. I always watch reviews before I buy games, which is good. Because I think that's the wisest choice I can make in these day and age. Because if I would have bought that game, I would have automatically wanted a refund of doing the Velgard game, which they totally freaking rebooted and didn't even continue where Dragon Age Inquisition left off. They just decided to reboot the whole story and make it all about ideology and agenda and all this stuff. And it's ridiculous. Just like the whole drama that's going on with Disney right now with the whole freaking Snow White thing. It's all an agenda and stuff like that. I don't get it. Other than I think people have lost their freaking minds. Because they can't even answer the simple question, what is a woman? What is a woman? Well, really you can't base a woman on being able to bear a child, because not every girl that is born and grows up to be a woman can bear a child, because sometimes they can be non-bearing. So, basically, let's answer that question. What is a woman? An adult human female. That's so freaking hard to say. An adult human female. Really? How's that so hard? What is a man? An adult human male. Wow. But you people can't even freaking answer that out there, can you? Not even people in the government. They're so freaking out there. Their mind, like, what the heck are you people doing in your offices? Smoking crack? And it's mostly the Democrat people that seem to not be able to answer that question. Really? What is a woman? Well, I'm not a biologist, is what one woman said. You're a woman, you stupid. You're an adult human female. You're a woman. Really? Then you got all this crazy ideology getting put into video games. I'm just like, what is going on out there? Everybody's lost their freaking minds. I don't want some stupid video game where ideology is getting put in, and the very thing that I just don't even want to acknowledge. That's why I want to play the game, so I can just have fun playing the game, defending the lands, beating the bosses, and becoming the hero in the game. But no. Oh, no. Can't have that. Everywhere it's got to be put in movies, games, TV, commercials, all that. It's just got to be put everywhere. DEI. Well, here's the thing about DEI. To me, I think DEI stands for Dark Evil Illusion because, to be honest, it would be like if you were walking down a road and you saw in the distance a puddle of water, even though it hasn't rained. What is that? That's an illusion. What is a man thinking that he can be a woman in? An illusion. You cannot change your bone size. Like, men's bones are thicker and bigger than women. Women's bones are thinner. They break easier. It's just part of the genetics of male and female. So you can't change the bone structure of a person. Yeah, you can basically do what they did back in the old days. Chop off the nuts, make them a eunuch. It speaks about that in the Bible. Like I said in the beginning, I am a God-fearing gamer. And I just don't support this woke ideology garbage. I don't even want my kids to go to public school because of this stupid woke ideology crap. Okay? It's just a bunch of poop. A bunch of, garbage. Flush it down the toilet. The DEI agenda thing and all that stuff needs to stop. We don't want it in our games. We don't want it in our movies. If I was rich enough, I'd buy out Disney and I would go back to the original family-friendly entertainment. But I ain't got that kind of money. I wish I did. Because to me, Disney's dead. The Disney I knew as a kid had died a long time ago. And to be honest, I'm not afraid to call myself a man. I'm not afraid to be manly. Because there's nothing wrong with it. If a speeding car was heading towards my wife, I wouldn't sit there and let the car hit my wife. I would push my wife out of the way, even if it meant that the car took my life. Because that is the kind of person that I am. That was the kind of person that I was raised by my mother and stepdad. I didn't get to learn stuff from my actual dad because he wasn't really around much. Because any time when my dad had a girlfriend in his life, he set me and my brother aside like we didn't mean anything, which I do forgive him for that. It's just, I wasn't really that close to my dad. And when I tried to get close, he I don't know, he was kind of afraid, I guess. I don't know. He didn't know how to be a dad because he didn't really have much of a dad. And it's sad. But sad thing is also all these garbage going on in games today. I enjoyed playing the Dragon Age games, but I always watch reviews before I buy games. Like the role-playing server that I was playing on was on a game called Atlas, and I'm not going to mention its name because I'm not going to smear them. You know, it's their choice to do whatever they want, and if they don't want to stick to historic, the historical way of the way things were back in the 1700s, that's their choice. But it's also my choice to not want to play to be on there anymore, which I'm not. I'm backing out, and I quit because I am not going to play a game where I have to see what I really don't care to see now. So, you know, people can get mad at me. They can get all outraged and leave, you know, insulting comments down in the comments below. I don't care. It's my choice. Just like when a person, you know, and the one thing I can't stand, when people are getting preached to, they think that just because we're talking to them or talking to people that we're trying to force them to believe in God. No, we're not. That would be like, this is actually a, you know, like a cup of sweet tea. But imagine if a person had, I don't know, imagine if I was at a friend's house and there was a beer put in front of me. Are they forcing me to drink that beer? Even though I don't drink? No. So, how is it that, you know, we're forcing people to believe in Jesus? No, we're not. It's your choice if you want to or not. We can't make you. We can't take away your freedom of choice. Just like the gaming industry can't take away the freedom of choice for us to want to play their games. You're going to put that stuff in there? We don't have to play your games. You don't have to get our money. You don't have to get our support. So, you know, you wanna completely just like reboot a story that you created in a video game just to please the agenda, the initiative, the DEI initiative, all that stupid stuff? Go ahead, but when it ends up with your bankruptcy and your collapsed video game developers, we don't want to hear about it. When you start bawling and crying, oh, the people won't buy our games. Even video game gamers that are not believers in God don't want to have to deal with that anymore. We don't. Us gamers, me, I believe in God, but those also who are out there in the world that don't believe in God also don't want to have to deal with DEI or, I don't know, the LGBT agenda being pushed down our throats in a video game. We just want to have fun, have clean, wholesome entertainment fun. Being some, you know, like a game where you're like a knight or something and you're fighting. Even the freaking Kingdom Come Deliverance game got that garbage put in it as well. Yeah, a lot of people have played it, but as soon as I found out that that was added into it, the DEI and the agenda of the alphabet people, I refuse to buy it because I'm not going to spend my money on something like that. So I'll stick with the lower games, you know, Valheim, at least until they probably start doing stupid stuff, which I hope they don't. But as for other games, I'm done. Like, BioWare, if you're watching this, you continue down the path. Like, basically, there's a sign that says cliff ahead, and you're ignoring it. And you're about to go off the freaking end of the cliff. Because you're not listening to the people who have been your fans a long time ago. So you can go ahead and do whatever you want. But when your stock completely crashes and collapses, don't come crying to us. Because we try to tell y'all stop. Gamers try to tell you to quit. But you didn't want to do it. You wanted to keep pushing the DEI and the alphabet agenda. And putting it in every game. And to you, Ubisoft, or whatever the crud your name is, it's probably Ubisoft or whatever. Back when you were making the Assassin's Creed games, it was supposedly supposed to be historically accurate, like with the whole Black Flag thing, which, don't get me wrong, I had fun playing Black Flag. I enjoyed going from island to island to collect the sea shanties, to hear my crew sit there and sing the sea shanties while sailing around, which was fun. But when you sit there and make an Assassin's Creed game where you're basically mocking the history of a nation and putting the agenda of DEI and also the Alphabet Mafia, then you're basically making a mistake, and you're also ignoring the sign that says cliff ahead. So you can sit there and have fun doing what you want to do, and yeah, you'll get a few people that like your game, but not enough to break even. So go ahead, drive off the cliff as well, because all we want is just the kind of games that used to be, and not these. We're gonna shove all this ideology down your throats. Just like with the movie industry, with the whole, you know, boss woman good, muscular man bad. You want to keep doing that, movie industry? Go right ahead, but you're also ignoring the cliff ahead that you're driving off. You know, like, I enjoyed movies like the Lord of the Rings, the grown-ups movies. Those are good. But this other stuff, which I even asked my wife, I'm like, would you ever want to go see the new Snow White? Because she used to be a fan of Snow White when she was little. She said no. I told her what the movie was about and what it was based on, and that they took the love story out. She said no. So y'all go ahead and keep making the same mistakes and ignore that sign that says cliff ahead. Okay? When you plummet into the ocean there, don't come crying to all the other the people that warned you.